On The Leading Men today, we bring to you His Royal Majesty, Williams Ezugwu, the Eze Ogbozara III of Opi Kingdom in Enugu State, Nigeria. He is the Secretary General of Conference of Nigeria Political Parties, CNPP, the stalwart of All Nigeria Progressive Grand Alliance, APGA. He was the 2003 senatorial candidate of the party in Enugu North. His Majesty Willie Ezugwu has also represented the people without a public office. He is a philanthropist, a father, an uncle, a brother and friend. The Leading Men crew paid him a visit.
Well, my name is His Royal Majesty Ezugwu. The Ezugwu are the third of Opi Kingdom. Ezekeze of Ideke land. That is, we talk of the whole Nsukka land. Well, I left my parents' home far back 1980 to Lagos. And when I was going to Lagos, was most of my friends who can say within our environment they were born with golden spoon. Most of them were going overseas to go and study. But because of my kind of person, my father said no, that if I should go overseas to study, I might not be able to come back. But not knowing that I don't even like staying overseas. So I left for Lagos with one of my friends called Chikeze. And he could not believe we entered bus with 20 naira then. From there, we got to Lagos. There's an uncle of mine that owns a hotel in Ikeja. So we were able to stay in the hotel, you know, hustling. In a days, we'll come help them in the hotel a bit. From there, that kind of a thing, start meeting friends. Then that come about 1982. I had a friend, a police officer. Then they had what they call Federal Highway Patrol. They have good office in Ikeja. I went to visit him. And all of a sudden, the then controller of the Federal Highway Patrol, they do a lot of jobs, contracts. He was like, this handsome man, what are you doing here? I said, you know, ignorantly or otherwise, I just chipped in and said, I'm looking for contract. He said, if they give you contract, can you do it? I said, yes, sir. He said, okay. Then I went to see my friend Adamu Shiromas, you know, who is an SP then. So I told him what the controller was CSP, told me. And he said, I gotta meet him again. I went back to his office. That was how they gave me 30,000 naira contract to supply lithographic equipment. You know, in the highways, the Federal Highway Patrol, they snap pictures to get the car on the highway and they wash it, you know, just like a normal camera. So they gave me the job, it was 30,000 naira. Where do I keep such money? So from so doing, you know, I sold the contract to another retired CSP of police who was a DPO then, you know. But God, there was no money to do it. I had no money to do it, so I had to look for her, raise some money. So the man gave me, I think, about 6,000 naira. So it was out of that 6,000 naira, I started going overseas to go and buy dresses, shoes to come and sell, you know, in wholesale and all those things. So that was how I was operating. But before then, that very year, 1982 December, this thing happened. This contract was awarded to me on 28th of December. But on Christmas Day, being 25th, I was living in one room, you know, in Ikeja then. I was unable to eat on Christmas Day. One funny thing, I live upstairs, a room in, you know, a story building. So there's a lady, they are from Delta, living in the same compound with me, you know, the same line of, you know, it was one room. They call it Face Me, I Face You. So this woman, you know, they cooked that very day like rice, you know, normal celebration food. So I was sleeping inside the room. I searched all my pocket to see what if I can get maybe 5 kobo to buy bread. I could not see. Then I had a fridge Tamaku fridge with water. I opened it and drank water and went back to bed. So about 12 o'clock, I came out of the balcony. So the woman was like, Uncle Willie, you are in the house, but these children, I asked them to go and look for you. They say you are not around. I said, well, I was inside the room. So this question was, maybe they brought Christmas food for me, but they couldn't find me. Now you have not seen me. What is the food? You could not believe they did not bring the food. That was how I did not eat food throughout the Christmas day. And my father is a king of my place. But I'm now in Lagos, not even eating on Christmas day, when I know they must have slaughtered up to 2 cows in my kingdom. But I never bothered. So after that 3 days of that fasting, that was how I got that job from the police. That was how the life started in Lagos. Keep on managing, you know. From there, I moved to the High Broad Street on Allen. Was staying in Allen, 70B Allen. Had my car shop on Okwebi Road. If you know Lagos very well, that is 70B Allen, then 42 Okwebi Road as my car shop. So that was how I keep on going and going, blown up into a big-time businessman. Then all of a sudden, sometime 1989, I decided coming back home because my dad was getting aged. So coming back home, that was how I get involved in politics. Then I think my first entrance was 2003. I ran for the Senate in my senatorial zone, of which, you know, during Obasanjo, from that 1999 to date, there was not like election. It's by appointment, kind of, but they call it election. So I joined All Progressive Grand Alliance Party, that's APUGA. And I was a senatorial candidate in my senatorial zone, that is Ezugwu North, that is in Soka. Then the election was rigged, as usual. I went to tribunal. I spent 2 years and 3 months from tribunal to Court of Appeal. Then the thing was settled out of court. Then the man continued. That Senator Fidelis Okoro was my opponent. So automatically after that, we settled out of court because almost the whole my senatorial zone was that, look, we won't continue this case because somebody will want to run for the senatorial zone, want to contest for the governorship. And the case between myself and Senator Okoro in the Senate will destabilize most of the things. So we were able to settle out of court. So when I came back to, I now visited Abuja. It was when I visited Abuja that I represented my party, APUGA, in the Conference of Nigerian Political Parties, that is CNPP. Well, you see, so far all of them is question of serving your people. I can serve the nation, I can still serve my kingdom. From most cases, I can say it's hectic, but there's nothing one can do. For example, you know the way I come into politics and all these national issues, of which I'm like an activist and a social critic. I cannot just leave it overnight. I cannot stop being a social critic overnight. Because the moment you don't believe in bad things, the moment you don't want government doing things to the extent that every common man looks like a useless person, and you must definitely criticize it. So I have to marry the two, being that I as a traditional ruler, I see people on problem on daily basis. Most cases I have my cabinet of 25 main cabinets, and it relieves me some tension because my cabinet sits whether I am there or not. Like for example, in my kingdom, there's no person from Obozara kingdom that can call police for any Obozara person. You must come to the palace and report to my cabinet. and they will judge it. Most cases have been resolved in my cabinet. If it is the tough one, they will keep it until when I come, I'll handle it. And luckily for me, I had good cabinets that they don't do those kind of, maybe you give them something, they can now, rule against you. No, it has never happened. So they take much tension off from me, So automatically, it could give me that marrying of both functions without any problem, because like I said, at the same time, being an activist and a social critic, I'm at the same time a philanthropist. So this doesn't make me, I look at it as working for the masses. Because if you watch most of my antecedents, either in my newsprint interviews or most of my TV interviews and maybe electronic media, you see that my points is not a question of whether I'm a Nigerian or not. You could help any person from any angle. You can do anything for any person, no matter where you're coming from. And being the fact that my lifestyle is that you cannot rob Peter to pay Paul, I will not take it. And that is why, even in my kingdom, when the kingship was, when my father died, and it was thrown to the kingmakers, in an anonymous decision, every person said, look, it has to be you. Because there are certain things they do in my kingdom, I will say, okay, instead of contributing, allow me, I will do it. Sometime I'll be coming into my place, that's my kingdom, I'll see crowd, what happened? They say somebody's sick. Some people couldn't pay school fees, some people call on phone, some people might be discharged from the hospital, they were able to pay their bills. And this gets to me, I'll put in my widow's mind. So there are a lot of things you think they were not recording. Because there's whatever you do, you must have a payback day. So the payback day was that particular day we were now, the kingmakers were nominating among us who would replace my father. And in an anonymous decision, I was the one that every person, almost 99% said, look, it's him. So it paid off my lifestyle or what I've been doing for my living. And being a social critic and an activist, it helped me a lot, that it can never weigh me down. I'm not the type of person that people now say, because you want to give me money, you want to entice me to not to do what I'm supposed to do. It's not possible. Unfortunately, again, some people say, but you are a traditional ruler. Why then do you participate in politics? And I said, my own is not like the elected or appointed traditional ruler. For example, in my state, you have the Igwes. And the Igwes are like, to me, I call them the messenger between the government and the community. They are not paramount rulers. They don't have any title. Like, before my father, when my father died, I did a lot of things to become this. There are a lot of things you do to climb the, but Igwe can just celebrate that government has appointed me as Igwe of a community. That's different. And the same government can take the Igwe ship. If, assuming you are in APC, and I'm in PDP as I'm in Apuga, and the Igwe happens to come to my function and make any speech, the government will, the state governor of whichever state can order for his removal and put in another person. So it's political, but my own is not political. It's hereditary. My own is hereditary. My grandfather used to be the tallest Ahuje chief in Eastern House of Chiefs then. And he died in 1964 when my father took over. And my father just died as about 4 years ago that I took over. So you now find that I'm not the kind of person that any governor can coach. Coming from where I was coming from. I mean, what I have been doing for a living. So I'm not that kind of person that any person would not say, hey, you won't do this. No. Except that thing is not right. Except I don't like it. Except something I know that if you do it to me, it will pay me. That's the only thing I cannot do. So I don't know. The job is very, very, to me, I take it is not too hard for me to combine the both. The most important is I look at it as it's just the same serving of your people.
The Leading Man, a television program, provides a platform for powerful, influential, and successful people. It allows them to share their ideas, secrets to success in leadership, business, career, and profession, as well as lifestyle in order to mentor others. The Leading Man aims to close the leadership gap around the world and encourage the next generation leaders. The Leading Man, showing on this station every Saturday at 10 a.m.
Well, so many people in this country today, there's no life that don't have a history, how you started. You know, I told you there was a Christmas Day, which there's no home that doesn't cook on Christmas Day, mostly in the Southeast, or people from the Southeast, or Christians celebrate Christmas. But I said 1982, 25th December, Christmas Day, I didn't eat any food, because I don't have the money to eat. But after 3 days, my life started. So that was my first success in life. And it kept on going that way until finally, I think the best bet that exposed me so much was when I was appointed as Secretary General of Conference of Nigerian Political Parties, which is the umbrella of all the political parties in Nigeria. And fortunately enough, what will be will be. That was how I made my best success in life, because it gave me a place in this country. Over 100-something million people. Your voice is being heard on a daily basis. It's not a joke. It's not only you. So I look at it as a very big advantage and a success to myself as a person. So that was where I am now. Well, His Royal Majesty, Willie Ezugwu, is somebody of a character that you can meet him anytime, anywhere. He's somebody that he doesn't know who is poor man or who is big man. He takes every person equal. Rather, he comes down with the less privileges. Those are the people he prefers mostly dealing with, staying with. You get me more upset if you are doing something because you are a rich person or a big man against the poor person. If that case comes to me, you will terribly see who Willie Ezugwu is like. That's the kind of person Willie Ezugwu is. Well, for example, I give you something like some time ago. I'm the kind of person that I prefer African food. Like what I eat, you ask me. Anything swell is my favorite in terms of the kind of food I eat. It's of recent, I say it is what they call salad. It's of recent. And the whole life for you, I'm eating salad now just after how many years of my life. It's not up to five years I start eating salad. But any day of my day, I don't eat swallow. It's like I've lost something. So automatically as a good African, you know, they say varieties of food, dieting, and I don't believe in that. We don't believe in dieting in Africa. As far as I'm concerned, it's only what you see you eat. So that's my own kind of person. So, but in terms of, like for example, I went to Holland some time ago, 1984, and I was unable to see where to eat. I was passing, I saw Chinese restaurant, I entered Chinese restaurant to eat because I just saw the restaurant. When I got there, I now find out the kind of rice they are serving is not the type of rice we see in Nigeria. But I said, I ordered for rice. They brought all their normal Chinese abuna. I could not take it. So what I saw chicken again, I ordered for chicken. So what I normally do is I take the chicken I'll eat the chicken, then I will now push more rice inside my mouth. So for 3 days I spent in Holland, in Netherlands, Amsterdam, before I now went to London. I went to see, that is after the 4th day. I went to London. I was with my friend, one Tabansi family in those days. They were living at Horringe, North London. When they brought, that was the first time I saw ground rice. They now prepared this okra soup. I almost fell inside the okra soup. Because you can imagine, for one good week I haven't eaten Nigerian food. So that was how I knew, oh, this man, this overseas is something else. But like today, everywhere, anywhere, even in China, you have African restaurants. Like I came back from India, there are a lot of African restaurants, Brazil, just name it. So it's no longer that way again today. So we can get our food everywhere. Food cannot make you not to travel to China. My name is His Royal Majesty, Ezugwu. Keep watching the leading men.